Welcome to Bio Class. Today, today's part is drugs and alcohol abuse. Survey and statistics show that the use of drug and alcohol has been on the rise, especially among the youth. The drug which is commonly used here, abused here, that is opioid drugs, cannabinoids, and the coca, alkaloid, all this kind of drugs. So let's know that it's a basic category of it. Narcotic drug, it can be divided into two basic categories: psychotropic drug and psychedelic drug. Psychotropic drug acts on the brain and alter the behavior, consciousness and perception. And psychedelic is more dangerous. It acts on the cerebrum and the sense organ and takes the user to the world of fantasy, the false and temporary happiness. That okay. Now psychotropic drug here if we can see that here the sedatives, tranquilizer, and the opioid, that morphine, heroin, from the papaver somniferous, detail we will see afterward, and from the cannabis sativa, that is marijuana, bhang, ganja, chorus, hashish, all these things, including that amphetamine, caffeine, cocaine. All right, and here it is a completely different type of drugs in psychedelic. That LSD is lysergic acid diethylamide from the fungus, the claviceps. Mescaline and psilocybin, DMT, uh, MDMA, all this much more dangerous. So these two categories. Now from the papaver somniferum, that poppy, in Bengali postu we are getting from this plant. This raw form, that is the opioid narcotics, and if it is dried in 10%, and it is a morphine, and it is, if it is boiled with acetic acid, so the acetyl derivative of morphine, which is heroin, is popularly known as diacetyl morphine. So these three things it is from this papaver somniferum. Now next is cannabis sativa. In cannabis sativa, that here so many different type of drugs it is we are getting from the flower and the leaf, the female plant, that marijuana it is there. From the shoot part, that bhang is collected. From the resin of this cannabis is ganja, and this is in pure form, that is called the chorus. And this chorus in USA, America, that it is called hashish. So these two are same thing, but in different place, different name. Now in erythroxylin coca, that alkaloid, that cocaine is obtained. Here drugs like barbiturate, amphetamines, and benzodiazepines, lysergic acid dimethylamide, and these the similar drugs that are normally used as the medicine to help the patients with the mental illness like depression, insomnia, but it is often abused in that abused drug. Okay, so in our body, neurohumor, serotonin, and LSD, DMT, which is just now just told, the lysergic acid dimethylamide, these are the similar in structure, So that instead of serotonin, that LSD mm, and DMT, this they can travel in that pathway. Suppose this is the brain, and in this pathway it can move that various areas. I mean, covers the areas. So this is the psychedelic pathway. Psychedelic pathway it goes. Whereas psychotropic is the dopamine pathway. It covers this lesser areas. I mean, affects these areas. All right. Next part is adolescence and the drug alcohol abuse. Okay, so adolescence. Adolescence. Look at here, the Latin adolescentia. It means the appearance of the secondary sexual character. Adolescence is the period of rapid growth and the physical and mental development. It is poised between childhood and the adulthood. In between childhood and adulthood, that is situated the adolescence, and it is a rapid growth of the physical and the mental. And here is in this period, that is the drug addiction is a maximum. So if we analyze this period, so it can be like that. Adolescent want to be recognized anyhow. It's two different type of instinct. It is there according to Sigmund Freud, that eros, life instinct, and where the self-esteem recognition it established. He used this word, the libido. And another is if anything failure is there, any kind of small kind of defeat is there, then it can go to the negative, which is called the thanatos. Thanatos is the death instinct. Okay, what is that? That is the sadism, negativism, frustration, depression, peer pressure, false belief. All these things it can be. Okay, so this is the an adolescence which is not not that childhood, not the adulthood. In these periods it is the lots of dilemma will work. Here in sublimations which can convert this different areas, and that is why in this period it is develops. That is love, infatuation, that friendship, that art and culture, music, the hero worship, aggression, passion, crush, all these things will be there. Okay, that is the it found that kind of coating in this. So it indicates it is a period. It is a period that the mental diversion is frequent. I mean, this fluctuation it always it is there. So if any kind of death instinct that you can see here, that sadism, negativism, frustration, depression, all this kind of things, and the people using the drug to relieve from that. Okay. If we go little bit Freudian, the mental structure, we can see that the one part is there, that is called ego and the superego. Okay. Id is a pleasure principle. Pleasure principle. Ego ego is that which is a real part of it, and the super ego which can criticize that whole thing. That 5 years child, if we compare that, you can see that the pleasure principle means the whole thing is that id part, and ego part is less. Ego part is less. But in and the stable adult, that id and ego, you can see the equal part, and the super ego part also there. But here in adolescence, the super ego, the which can criticize that id and ego, that it is also that wide part. It means that this dilemma, it is there. Uh, Suppose if id is here the pleasure principle, ego is the realistic. Uh, mm, uh, we should study now, but id says that no need to study, just go for that mobile game. After that, in this situation, the result, it will be criticized by the superego. So in this way, that when superego fails, superego criticize, and the adolescence is full of that superegos, then it goes for the different kind of the mental illness. So that is it is related, just related part of the drug and alcohol abuse. Next, it comes the addiction. Addiction is the physical and the mental dependence on the specific substance. Like here, it is alcohol or drug. Here, the reasons also comes almost same, which is described. Here it is the frustration due to failure, lack of identity, lack of emotion, the boredom, pleasure, unhappy life, relief from the pain, all this, and not even that. Sometime even curiosity, sometime the heroism, showmanship, spiritual surge. So all this reason it can be. So now we'll enter inside that inside the brain, what will affect. So drug dependence, this word is used. That person, those who are taking drug, they are used in this, and it is required every day, all the time. So it happens because it's affect that ventral tegmental area that you can see that this areas that effect is there. So drug here drug binds in this area, and here the acetylcholine, ACH plus acetylcholine, it secret, and this acetylcholine, it insists that the dopamine, I think you know that dopamine. So that this is also called the dopamine pathway, and this pathway is called reward pleasure, that pathway. Here it goes in the different areas of the dopamine receptors, and it binds with that receptors. When it binds with the receptors, then if it is habitual binding, every day this binding is there, then the person feels one fuzzy type of feelings. So that is the rewarding defect, that intense enthusiasm, excitement, that kind of temporary feeling of the state, the intense excitement and happiness, which is called euphoria, that it happens. Suppose any person will smoke the first day, then this knobs here this suppose the receptor, so receptor will occupy this first one, there will be no feelings. Second day maybe there are no feelings, and gradually when it will be the dependence will be more, the more dopamine receptor will be it comes and takes this the drug, so the dependence will be there, and after that this dopamine, if will not carry this sensation, then the person will be in problem. And serotonin pathway, already I told that the serotonin pathway is much more dangerous in psychedelic effect. So it goes the different areas, and instead of serotonin, that different LSD, different kind of drug, it goes the different areas. So this gives that the temporary feelings only. Hmm. The dependence, the tendency of the body manifests the characteristics, and to remove that the withdrawal, the part is there, and here the unpleasant withdrawal syndrome. Hmm. We should use it. Okay, so this is the physiology behind it. Here the dopamine acts on that dependence, and here the serotonin acts that dependence. That is why this is much more dangerous. This serotonin pathway. This is the called the reward pathway. In alcohol abuse, you can see this the one or two drinks, intelligence, and it affects on intelligence and memory, then self control and judgment and sense, then coordination, balance, and it affects on the vital center. So this is the actually its effect, that alcohol, which is one of the common, and the problem in alcohol, that is also, it's not only that in body the cirrhosis, it is there will be the economical problem, there will be family conflict, effect on the child, this cardiovascular disease, the depression, the antisocial personality, the motor accident, traffic violation, the gastro. It means that it's social and the biological problem, it mix, even even it with that the unemployment problem, loss of jobs, sexual dysfunction. So many things it is there in this. That use of alcohol drinking in adolescents, it it may causes that the liver cirrhosis. Liver cirrhosis, here I can show you one diagram. You can see that here is the healthy liver, and here the liver causes the cirrhosis, where it is called the fibrotic liver. Here the fibrosis, and the fat material is there, the necrosis also there, I mean cell death, that part also there. In case of drug like anabolic steroid, which also can change many things, I mean gender also, and that anabolic androgenic steroid, which enters inside the cells very easily because it is fat containing, and the hormone receptor, it takes it is taken by this hormone receptor, and it acts as transcriptional factors, and it went for the protein synthesis, and here the maleness, it can be the testosterone like effect in female or in male. So the female can turns into male gets the normal testosterone reduced due to that AAS, it tends to the femaleness. Detail I am not describing, just to know that the an anabolic steroid is another harmful, I mean drug. In prevention and control, this part that they avoid the under the peer pressure, I mean that we have to enhance our mental skill, education, and the counseling, the seeking help from the parent and peers, looking for the danger sign, and seeking the professional, the medical help in this case. So that is about the drug and alcohol abuse. Thank you.